Phishing attacks are becoming increasingly common and sophisticated, posing a serious threat to individuals and organizations alike. In this episode, we'll discuss what phishing is, how it works, and what we can do to protect ourselves and our organization from these attacks. First, let's talk about what phishing is. Phishing got its name because it's very much like the sport fishing, just a funnier spelling. A fisher sends an email that'll act as bait, much like the tasty morsel that an angler will use on his hook. The email is typically designed to look like a legitimate email you might receive from a known website or service. However, it's not. It's just a decoy. And like the fish who thinks he's about to get a tasty treat, if you click that email, you get hooked. How is this different from spam? Spam is just junk email, typically marketing email trying to get you to buy a product or a service. Phishing is a specific type of spam designed to trick users into giving up sensitive information or to trick users into installing malicious software posing as legitimate. Let me give an example. Let's say you're sitting on the couch on a Sunday watching your favorite sports team or your favorite Netflix murder series. While watching, you're mindlessly scrolling through your phone looking at emails, and you notice an invitation to connect with someone over a social media platform. Facebook, LinkedIn, it doesn't really matter. You open the email, it looks just like any other email you receive from that platform, so you click on the button to accept the invitation. The web browser on your phone opens and asks you to log into that service. Again, it just looks like their website. So you enter your name and password, hit the enter button, but it doesn't work. An error comes up on the page. You don't think much about it, and trying to figure out what went wrong seems like more of a hassle than you're interested in right now. So you close the page and forget about it. Monday morning, though, you go into the office, and that's when things start happening. Common websites you go to ask you to re-log in, and your password doesn't seem to be working. You also start hearing rumblings from IT that they've been hacked. There's data compromised. What happened? Think back to Sunday when you were on the phone. That email you received wasn't legitimate. Some malicious actor designed the email to look like it was real. And when you hit the accept button, it wasn't the real website. That was a decoy website that was designed to look like the real thing. When you plugged in your username and password, you didn't get logged in, but those credentials were saved. And they were used to access the real website posing as you. Even worse, you reused that username and password on many sites, and the hacker exploited it. They were able to get into your personal accounts and work accounts, all because you fell for that phishing attack. Hopefully you don't reuse passwords, but many people do. Imagine, however, instead of a social media invitation, you got an email asking you to update some piece of software you use. The email looks exactly like it was sent from someone in your organization. Well, what if you installed it? That malware could sit on your laptop collecting sensitive data for weeks or months before anything happens. And when that something happens, you might find yourself or your company victims of a ransomware attack. That story is not unique. In fact, I've heard it from many of my clients over the years. Phishing attacks continue to become more sophisticated, and it becomes harder and harder for users to identify what's real and what's not. So how do we protect ourselves and our companies? As I said, phishing attacks continue to become more sophisticated, but there are many tools that we as IT professionals can use to help protect ourselves and our organizations. The first thing we need to do is try and prevent phishing emails from getting to your user's inbox. For our Microsoft-based customers using Exchange, DeepNet encourages our customers to leverage Defender for Office 365. Defender is Microsoft's advanced protection tool, which includes Microsoft's advanced anti-spam and anti-phishing tools. Defender for Office 365 uses AI to detect malicious emails and content. It also correlates attack patterns to identify campaigns specifically designed to evade protection. The bottom line is it prevents malicious emails from reaching your user's inbox. However, there's no solution that can 100% prevent these emails from reaching your users. So the next step is to educate them. DeepNet is partnered with InfoSec. InfoSec provides a two-pronged approach to educating your users. The first is a series of web-based trainings designed to help your user identify which emails are real and which are not. I've taken them and they're highly informative. The second prong is to send periodic phishing emails to your users. If they fall for the email, they are notified and asked to take a short refresher training. When users realize they've made a mistake and have fallen for the ruse, they start to look more closely at emails. The last step is to ensure that multi-factor authentication, or MFA, is set up for your organization. Username and password combinations are simply no longer enough. Companies and systems get hacked and their databases get leaked. It doesn't matter if it's a major credit card company or a small online retailer that you have bought from, almost everyone has had their credentials compromised. When this happens, we don't often know it immediately. MFA adds a second line of defense when logging in. For many websites, it's that 6 or 8-digit number that they text you and ask you to use when you log in. While for many of us this seems like an annoyance, it's critical for security. A hacker can have your username and password but still not able to log in without that MFA code. DeepNet can ensure your organization has MFA enabled so that when passwords get compromised, the hackers still can't log in. We hope this has been informative. At DeepNet, we take our clients' security very seriously. If you'd like to know more about Defender, InfoSec, or any of the other solutions we might have available, just reach out to your DeepNet rep. We're here to help.